Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I don't know if I said, when I did the 1985 video, I don't know if I accidentally said Horror Across America, but I'll correct that. I'll put a little blurb at the bottom if I did. No, this is 50 years of horror fiction continuing with the year 1986. So I've got 5 books here, so let's go ahead and get underway, alright? Okay, so the first one we have is Nightstone, and this is by Rick Hawtala. Hidden Toys. The old house in Maine gave Beth the creeps. She couldn't believe they were really moving in. If it weren't for the wooden doll she had found in the closet of her new bedroom, she would have been miserable. But the strange hand-carved figure fascinated her, and she sensed with the child's instinct that she had to hide it from her parents. Hidden Evil. It was a house of darkness and shadows, but with her secret doll, Beth wasn't afraid, not even when she heard the scratching and whispering at night, not even when the tall, massive stones of her dreams began to ooze with blood. For as she stared into the eyes of the wooden doll, she heard it call to her and felt the force of its evil power. And she knew that it was about to tell her what she had to do. That is Nightstone, and that is by Rick Hawtala. Okay. So usually when I see this next book for sale on Amazon, or at Barnes & Noble, I always see it as Songs of a Dead Dreamer and Grimscribe. Alright, and this is by Thomas Ligotti. I'm actually only going to be, well, I'll talk about both, but the main one I'm talking about is Songs of a Dead Dreamer. It just so happens that the synopsis is going to be for both books, but Grimscribe was published later on. I don't remember if it was published. I don't know if it was published in 1985, but Songs of a Dead Dreamer was, alright? Anyway, Thomas Ligotti's debut collection, Songs of a Dead Dreamer, and his second, Grimscribe, permanently inscribed a new name in the pantheon of horror fiction. Influenced by the strange terrors of Lovecraft and Poe and by the brutal absurdity of Kafka, Ligotti eschews cheap, gory thrills for his own brand of horror, which shocks at the deepest existential levels. Ligotti's stories take on decaying cities and lurid dreamscapes in a style ranging from rich, ornamental prose to cold, clinical detachment. His raw and experimental work lays bare the unimportance of our world and the sickening madness of the human condition. Like the greatest writers of cosmic horror, Ligotti bends reality until it cracks, opening fissures through which he invites us to gaze on the unsettling darkness of the abyss below. And that is Songs of a Dead Dreamer as well as Grimscribe. And that is by Thomas Ligotti. Okay, next up we've got Lyrica, and this is by Thomas F. Monteleone. Lyrica, beautiful, alluring, she is every man's desire, as sensual as a midnight fantasy, as mysterious as a timeless legend. She moves with the instincts of darkness, her true form cloaked in irresistible flesh, her savage needs immersed in a fiery sexuality. She seeks men of energy and vision, only to lure them like lambs to the slaughter, into the raging flames of maddening obsession. She is the eternal seductress and the eternal horror. With the flash of her serpent green eyes, she beckons. Lyrica is hungry for your soul. And that is Lyrica, and that is by Thomas F. Monteleone. Okay. Next up, we've got The Hyde Effect, and this is by Steve Vance. In the hills of Southern California, a series of violent and gruesome deaths occur within the space of a few hours. The murders are attributed to an unknown savage animal. Precisely 1 month later, college student Meg Talley is attacked in the same manner. Astonishingly, she survives, but when she insists that her assailant was a hideous monster-like creature, she is called hysterical. Journalist Douglas Morgan, Private Eye Nick Grundle, and horror novelist Blake Corbett, however, have each come to believe that the mangling, incredible though it seems, might be the work of a werewolf. They team up with Meg to pursue an intensive investigation. When a suspect is apprehended and confined, the four are on hand, but neither skeptics nor believers are prepared for the bone-chilling terror and cataclysmic violence that will be unleashed in the night of the January full moon. And that is The Hyde Effect, and that is by Steve Vance. I read The Hyde Effect a long time ago. In fact, I think I probably read it in 1985. Is one of the few books that I have read that actually feature a character with autism in the book. I don't remember the fella's name, but I remember that the character seemed to think that he was living in like medieval times, and I really don't know how accurate the portrayal of someone with autism was. Personally, it probably wasn't very accurate, but that's one of the main reasons I remember the book. All right. Okay, finally, we've got The Hellbound Heart, and this is by Clive Barker. Frank Cotton's insatiable appetite for the dark pleasures of pain led him to the puzzle of Le Marchand's box, and from there to a death only a sick-minded soul could invent. But his brother's love-crazed wife, Julia, has discovered a way to bring Frank back, though the price will be bloody and terrible, and there will certainly be hell to pay. And that is The Hellbound Heart, and that is by Clive Barker. Now that was actually, I believe, first part of the Books of Blood series, but nowadays you see it released as a standalone novella. So that's why I included it, because one reason I haven't really talked about the Books of Blood series on here, that's back in, that's past years before 1985 or whatever, or 1986. This is for 1986. And I want to talk a little bit more about Barker. So I think in 1985 I talked about The Damnation Game, and now like I said, I'm talking about The Hellbound Heart. Anyway, that's going to do it for this installment of 50 years of horror fiction, the year 1986. Thank you guys once again for watching, and as I always say, take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.